reform, Congressman Will Hurd of Texas, who I think is regretting coming here today. He's also a former undercover officer in the CIA.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, Congressman.
Should we change the topic? What do you think?
I would like to.
So why don't we start with Homeland Security? How are we doing?
Well, there's a lot more to be done. I hope at the State of the Union tomorrow that the president's going to address, some of his strategies, especially overseas. Our first line of defense is actually not our borders. Our first line of defense is out there in places like Iraq and Syria and Yemen. And when you look at the threat of ISIS, ISIS is still a clear and present danger to the United States. I wish this president would pick up the phone and call the director of the CIA and say, listen, in 45 days you need to double the amount of human intelligence that are coming out of Syria and Iraq on the plans and intentions of ISIS. Because if we do that, guess what? We can feed this to our Air Force, bomb more locations, work closer with our allies. And we also need to be tough with the Russians. You can't have the Russians bombing the locations of rebels that are supporting us. That's just insane.
Last week, Rudy Giuliani said that Americans should not feel safe post San Bernardino. You're on the Homeland Security Committee. Should Americans feel safe?
People don't feel safe. National security.
Is that rational feeling, that fear?
It is a rational feeling. When you look at the things that you're seeing, you look at Paris, you look at San Bernardino, you look at the things that are happening in Germany, folks are nervous and folks are scared. But know this, when I was in the CIA, I started in October of 2000, and it was the day that the USS Cole was blown up. I was in the CIA when 9/11 happened. And if you would have told me back then that it would be 14 years before there'd be another attack on the homeland, I would have said you were crazy. And the reason that there hasn't been a major attack is because the men and women in law enforcement, in the military, in our diplomatic corps, and intelligence services are operating as if it's September 12th, 2001. But there's still a lot more that needs to be done. Protecting against these lone wolves. That's one of the most difficult things for the law enforcement to protect against. And I think we need to start building micro networks, intelligence networks. We need to be working with private security forces that are keeping, collecting information on suspicious people at buildings, sharing that amongst them, sharing that with local law enforcement, and then having that meld with our national intelligence information that we have.
That is definitely.
Congressman Will